I lied about being pregnant as a joke. This entire stunt has been an advertisement for my Patreon.
Today we're going to be talking about one of the most delusional creators I've seen in a while. This creator goes by the name konstnar. Not too sure I said the last part right, but this whole thing pretty much starts off with a video she made a few weeks ago titled, "I have an announcement." And we're of course going to go more in depth on that later, but that's basically just the video where she's talking about how she's pregnant, how the journey has been, and how it's coming along. And after she made that video, everything was still going fine, and she of course didn't really receive any hate at all during that video because everyone believed her. They just seen the video and they're like, wow, she's going through a pretty big moment in her life and trying to figure out how to deal with that. But where the big problem comes in this situation is her recent video titled, "I lost the baby." And that's where she really drops the major information ever. But it feels like I'm jumping the gun and hopping into this a bit too quick here. Before we get into reviewing these videos and taking a look at the brain dead takes ever, I just wanted to give a quick, and by quick I mean super quick, rundown of who this person is. Because if you're anything like me, you probably didn't even know who this person was until this incident. So to try to speed run it and hurry up and sum it up, she basically made videos with edgier humor and mainly satire jokes, which also kinda ties into the idea that some of her fans are actually attempting to defend this, saying that, oh yeah, you just don't know the type of content she makes, and we're definitely gonna get into that later, but now that we know a bit more about the type of content she makes, we're gonna just hop right into this, starting with her "I have an announcement" video.
I'm ovulating and I had like a plug of blood come out and I was like, oh my god, I'm pregnant. I feel like it's okay to not know what I'm doing in life because I'm young, I'm hot, I'm funny, I'll figure it out. Life will go on and I will, by default, be something, if not dead. I'm good, guys. I'm actually so good. I want to have a kid, I just don't think I can have a fucking kid right now. And I really want a kid. I do want a fucking kid. And I'm not being stupid. I'm not being like, oh, well, you're young. You don't really know what it's like. You have so much life to live. You! I'm having a baby. Like, I'm having the baby. It's not like I'm getting rid of it. It's like, I'm having the baby. I'm gonna have a baby.
So it may seem like I'm not saying too much during the review of this video, and that's because as of right now, there's not much to say. So far, there's genuinely nothing hinting at the idea that this may be a joke or this is some sort of satire content. As of right now, it genuinely looks like someone who's pregnant, like early in their life, going through what you would normally go through. They're confused, they don't know what to do. You can obviously see that she's putting a lot of emotion into this that most people would think is real, and honestly there's no reason to think that it's not real, but as of right now it just seems completely believable.
Remember how I had like shit going on with my uterus when I was 16? Like I had surgeries just to get stuff removed, so like my fertility's always been kind of weird. I'm pregnant, and if there's any kind of like surgical intervention, I could really fuck up my fertility. Like I might not be able to have a kid again. And then the other thing is that if I have this kid, it's very likely that I won't be able to have another one.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
It's truly crazy how much effort she's putting into this lie, and watching this video makes it all the more fucked up. She went through the effort of making all these different like fake photos and all these different complications and problems that people truly go through, and maybe some of them were watching this video trying to like resonate with her and they found some sort of comfort in that. So like I said, this truly just makes it more fucked up with how much effort she put into it.
I'm currently in my second trimester. And let me tell you something. Being pregnant is exactly what they say it is. It's pretty awful. It's very overwhelming to be 20 and pregnant because I'm around other 20-year-olds that are like, I don't even know what I'm like doing right now. Like, I don't even know who I am. It's really interesting thinking about coming back to YouTube with an announcement like this because I've been gone for so long. I started this channel when I was 15. A lot of you have been following me since I was 15 years old, and not that much time has gone by. Thank you guys for staying here with me and being here with me and hopefully supporting me in the future. So stay tuned, guys.
Like, this genuinely gets worse by the second. At the end of that, she's basically thanking her fans for all the support and almost encouraging them to give her more support for something that's just straight up a lie. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm just as much a fan for dark humor and satire content as the next guy, but this just isn't that. You're playing with your fans' emotions, abusing their trust in you, and just genuinely lying to them. There is no joke, there is no punchline, there is no funny, especially when you're bringing up genuine problems that people have, like issues with their fertility. But that pretty much sums up that video, and we're just gonna hop straight into her "I lost the baby" video to see what it's all about.
Okay, guys, I lost the baby, and I don't know exactly where I put it. It has to be around here somewhere. Okay, so some of you guys are probably wondering,
No, I am not pregnant. And I'm sure some of you are shocked. I'm sure some of you are not surprised at all. I'm sure some of you don't care. But some of you might be asking,
I'm gonna just stop it there right quick and try to talk about the fact that she said some people just might not be surprised, and I'm honestly wondering who those people are. Like I said earlier, that some of her fans are trying to defend her by saying, oh yeah, you don't know the type of content that she makes. Even those people that are skeptical of everything you do, if you've reached such a bad level where they don't even believe you when you're talking about some sort of serious health concern, like being pregnant and potentially having fertility issues, then you're really just a lost cause. That means you've reached a point that no one will believe you if you say anything. Because like we've seen in her announcement video, there was genuinely no reason to not believe her. She had like an entire photo album of her progress and everything. So if there were people who didn't believe her, that's just pretty sad.
when you're a content creator, the line between entertainment and reality is very blurred. Your audience will become very attached to an abstraction of yourself. And the odd thing is that this connection can become very personally meaningful to the viewers, whilst not being personally meaningful to the creator itself.
Well, there you go. She pretty much said it right there. She went through this entire lengthy ordeal and abused her fans' trust just to teach you a little lesson about parasocial relationships. Like, there's no way. You have to be fucking kidding me. There's genuinely no worse way to go about this. There's no way that she didn't even think for a second that, hey, you know, even though I want to teach them this lesson or whatever, this is a pretty fucked up way to go about it. There's a plethora of other ways to convey this message that doesn't involve abusing your fans' trust in you and pretty much downplaying genuine issues that people have.
Your attention is monetarily valuable to me. And unless you have some narcissistic tendencies, which a lot of us do, the experience of having a parasocial relationship with your audience can be very uncomfortable.
Now, I'm gonna go ahead and cut her off right there. She's talking about narcissistic tendencies, and if anything, she's the one displaying them. It seems like she thinks that everyone that watches her is some sort of weirdo with some sort of like strange parasocial relationship or some sort of weird connection with her. And it genuinely makes no sense where she gets that idea from. What, you think they have some sort of parasocial relationship because people are normal and have somewhat of a heart and that they can actually sympathize with someone, especially when they're going through some sort of major health concern? Like, it's truly hard to believe how, honestly, just straight up fucking stupid you can be. Like, as much as I want to sugarcoat it and say, oh, she's just unaware, like, no, at a point, you're just so wrong that you're genuinely brain dead.
I'll give you an example. When I was 15 and I first started making content, I had a lot of people threaten to me every day. And if you could imagine, this was not fun. And the problem with this, beyond the obvious, is that there's no meaningful way to respond to this interaction. The offender has anonymity, and in some way, so do I. So I'm not treating them like a real person. They're not treating me like a real person. You're not real, and I'm not real, and none of this is real. And yet, the effect that we have on each other is still very real.
Now, the crazy part is that right here, it shows that she has some understanding of the situation because what she's saying here isn't fully wrong. Like, she is telling the truth that for a lot of people on the internet, they don't treat each other like real people because for the most part, a lot of people on the internet are anonymous. But this also really makes it way worse because she also states the fact that she understands understands that the effects that you have on each other are real. Even though you're not treating each other as real people, the effects are. And then she also brings up one of the potential reasons for doing this and trying to prove her point as being some of the bad comments that she got earlier in her career. And while I'm not saying that those are acceptable in any way at all, of course those are like horrible comments that you just have to find a way to deal with. What I am saying though is that this isn't an acceptable way to deal with them. You got some bad comments from a few bad apples, and then you decided the best way to go about combating this and returning the favor would be by taking advantage of all your actual fans' trust and then calling them some fucking parasocial weirdos.
I lied about being pregnant as a joke. And the joke is not that pregnancy under strenuous circumstances is funny. The joke is not that the audience was gullible enough to believe that I was pregnant. The joke is you connected to something that wasn't real. And I have become something that isn't real.
Man, what the fuck are you even talking about? I swear I don't get upset easily, but one thing that truly gets on my nerves is when people are so wrong that it's actually fucking unbelievable. But they genuinely sit there and think that what they are saying is the absolute 100% truth. There wasn't any fucking joke. There never was any joke. All you did was straight up lie to your fans and take advantage of their emotions and then basically hop up on this fucking camera and beg them for money. The real joke out of this entire situation is you. And then she goes back to basically making fun of the people that believed her by insinuating that they were like gullible or something in some way, which couldn't be further from the truth. Like I said earlier, when you're talking about a serious issue as the one she was talking about, there's almost no reason to not believe you, especially when you have all the proof and everything to back it up. And it's not because people are gullible or have some sort of weird parasocial relationship, it's just that people have a base level amount of trust in other people and a base level of hope in the human race, and they're not really gonna go around just assuming that everything that everyone says, especially something serious like this, is a lie. That'd be like if I came out with a video tomorrow saying, hey guys, you know, some major information, some really bad news. I found out that I have cancer or something, and then I went to go show you guys proof and everything, and then like 3 weeks later I came back with a video with my fucking hair missing or something like that and said, oh wow, I'm going through my treatment process and everything. No one would be stupid or gullible for believing me, because what reason would they have to think that I'm lying?
We all come here to find this connection over and over again. And we don't really find it until now, when you subscribe to my Patreon. Oh yeah, that's right. This entire stunt has been an advertisement for my Patreon.
This is some crazy fucking work. I can't even believe that she released this video, dropped the major shitty news ever, and then followed it up with an advertisement to her Patreon. I don't see any way in this entire world that this could lead to any sort of actual gainage to your Patreon. The only people who would subscribe after that probably have some sort of fucking humiliation fetish. Oh wow, the lady that just lied to me about the major issue ever that you just shouldn't fucking lie about just dropped a new update to her Patreon. I just can't wait to subscribe and spend my money on her to get lied to more or something. I don't know.
I'm also announcing that I'm coming back to YouTube. Listen, I wanted to come back to YouTube and explain to everyone why I had been gone and what had happened to me in that time that made me want to come back. But some of you in my audience are pretty weird, and I don't blame any of you. You know, you can't help being weird, but I didn't think that it would be healthy for me to expose myself like that to all of you. And that's why I decided to keep a lot of my more sensitive information behind a paywall, where I would hope some of the audience would be more intentional with how they interact with me, because now it costs money to do so.
You truly couldn't be more clueless. She's basically trying to say that she wants all of her important content on her Patreon to try to like wean out the weirdos and wean out the parasocial people, but this is gonna have literally the exact opposite effect. Your normal viewers aren't gonna sit here and spend money on your Patreon. They're actually not even gonna watch you at all anymore after this fiasco. The only people that are spending money on your Patreon, especially after something like this, are going going to be the weirdos, especially parasocial people or some people with some questionable kinks. It's just truly crazy how unaware one person can be. But I don't know, I better get ready to wrap this video up soon because she's genuinely starting to piss me off. I didn't think this video would be that bad when I was getting into it, but it's just something about taking advantage of people's trust, especially your fans' trust, that just really rubs me the wrong fucking way. So I don't know, I'm sorry if I seemed a bit more hyped up in this video, but that's the reason why. And if you want to subscribe to someone that won't be faking their pregnancy anytime soon, make sure to drop a sub. We're trying to go for 1,000. I know it's pretty far away, but we're gonna get there sooner or later, so you may as well sub now. But with that said, that's been it for today, talking about one of the most delusional people that I've seen in a while, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.